What's up everybody, D-Man back. Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be talking about 15 things that I would do in a Kong movie post Godzilla vs Kong, or with Kong movies plural, I should say. Or just with Kong plural, I should say. Huge shout out to my dentist. I just got back from a dentist appointment, and my dentist is apparently a huge Kong fan. I learned that today. She's very much Team Kong. Good for her. And she sticks with Team Kong the same way I do. So that was cool. It was cool to meet another Team Kong fan out there. Also, I just got done recording my 15 things for Godzilla. I don't know why my brain's kind of all over the place, but I feel like my brain is just like... just not focusing on what I want to say. So I don't know if that video turned out well, but I'm gonna give this one a shot. Hopefully I can be a little smarter this time. I don't know. All right, let's jump right into this list. Number 1, I want an overarching story. I talked a little bit about this in the Godzilla one. I want a story for Godzilla and Kong in the next movies, even when they aren't on screen together. First of all, I want them to acknowledge each other's existence. I want the movies to acknowledge Kong in a Godzilla movie and Godzilla in a Kong movie. I want them to reference each other. I want them to reference Godzilla vs Kong. And I just want them to mention that the other one is out there. But I do want an overarching storyline. I think Monarch is a way to do that. You could have Monarch branching them. The way I would do it is kind of have two branches of Monarch the same way they currently do, where you have the Godzilla side and then the Kong side. And so those branches, they might not be totally connected. There's some crossover. I would have some crossovers, but I don't think they should be the most interconnected thing. I think it could actually be really cool if Dr. Ling is on the Kong side of things while Dr. Chen is on the Godzilla side of things. That would be interesting. But I would have the bad guys be pulling the strings here, creating the plot for all these movies. That's what I would do. Number 2, return to Skull Island both pre and post Godzilla vs Kong. Skull Island's the most interesting location in the MonsterVerse. Maybe the Hollow Earth is going to totally top that. But as it stands, for me, Skull Island's the coolest place we've visited so far. I think it's absolutely awesome. I know Skull Island is just Hollow Earth come to the surface, so now we've got a much bigger Skull Island to explore. But still, I really like Skull Island. I hope they revisit it. I know they're doing the Kong anime. I hope they spend a lot of time developing the lore of Skull Island before Godzilla vs Kong, and I would like to check up on the island and see how it is after Godzilla vs Kong. I think one thing that could be cool is if Kong finds the tunnel from Hollow Earth up to Skull Island. I know that no humans can travel through that tunnel. It's stated in the novelization for Godzilla vs Kong that humans can't make that passage, but Kong himself could, so I would love to see Kong make that passage from Hollow Earth to Skull Island so that he could have both of his homes connected. That'd be cool. Just be interesting to check up on the island as well. I know it kind of got destroyed in the last movie, but still. Number 3, a killer soundtrack and a warm look. This is kind of a 2-for-1, but the soundtrack for Kong has always been great, and I'm not just referring to the score. Kong's music is the best in the MonsterVerse aside from the Ifukube stuff. Godzilla vs Kong, the best stuff is all the Kong stuff. I'm talking about the licensed music. Kong had a really cool 1970s feel in Kong Skull Island, of course because of the setting, but also because of the paid-for licensed music. Godzilla vs Kong gives Kong a very interesting musical approach as well. He's kind of got like his own soundtrack playing, and I want to see more of that. I want to hear more of that. I hope they do more music for Kong. As for a warmer look, I just mean bring back the color palette that we saw in Kong Skull Island, and then we got a little bit of in Godzilla vs Kong. Just the warmer approach and aesthetic to the Kong stuff I think is very good. Number 4, show the Titan War. I want to see what the ancient Kongs were up to. I want to see what they did when they built that temple. I want to see the civilization of the ancient Kongs in a flashback, and I want to see the war with Godzilla. I would not bring Godzilla and Kong, the two characters, back together for a while, but I would absolutely show the ancient war between Godzilla and Kong in at least a brief flashback showing some of, obviously not all of the war, but showing very small fragments of the war, showing how Kongs made the throne room with all of the axes, showing them take down the massive Godzilla, Earth-sized Godzilla that we see the skeleton of. I want to see the ancient war with the Kongs versus the Godzillas. That could be a really cool opportunity to get more Godzilla vs Kong stuff happening in the MonsterVerse without actually betraying the ending of Godzilla vs Kong and having them no longer be buddies. They're not really buddies, but they did put their differences aside, and the war is over. The two of them have made peace. The war is done. It's like the conclusion to the Titan War. It's now officially over. So I think without betraying that, just show the war so that we can see Godzilla vs Kong Kong, but they don't actually have to fight each other. Number 5, explore the Hollow Earth on the ground, Kong Skull Island style. I don't know how you should do this. I think it could be interesting if Monarch wants to explore it. I don't know why they wouldn't just take a heave and fly around the same way they did in Godzilla vs. Kong. So maybe an idea is some people are able to synthesize the technology, or they're able to recreate the technology that Apex used to get into Hollow Earth. Some companies, some corporations. This could actually be a really cool idea. If some corporations try and recreate technology, they make their own heaves or vehicles capable of making it to Hollow Earth, but because they're not as cutting edge as Apex, when they make the journey into Hollow Earth, they like short out and they can't fly or whatever, and they wind up stranded in Hollow Earth, and now Monarch has to venture out to find them, and so you got people on the ground. That is actually, I think, a great idea. I'm gonna use that in my Kong's pitch idea. That way we can explore the Hollow Earth on the ground and see Skull Island, but the big version. And have a ton of really cool monsters down there too. I want skull crawlers, I want Mother Longlegs back, I want the buffalo, but I also want all sorts of crazy new monsters. Get a bunch of Dougs running around, everything like that. I want some new ones though, some ones that they invent for the next Kong Hollow Earth movie. Okay, number 6, rebuild Kong's temple and then keep his weapons. Godzilla is a big meanie and I hate him because he blew up Kong's home right after he found it. I hope that we see that Kong is able to rebuild the temple, or at least get it into a usable condition where he can live there. And then I want Kong to still have his big weapons arsenal. I think that's really cool. It'd be cool to see Kong dual wielding axes going up against other opponents other than Godzilla. So that'd be pretty sweet. Kind of going along with that, for number 7, I want to see Kong's intelligence continue to grow and develop. Kong is super smart in Godzilla vs. Kong. He has human level intelligence. I would like to see him continue learning sign language and continuing to be able to communicate with humanity, however rudimentary. I'd still like to see him try. And I want to see him smart and problem solve and do all the Kong things that we know he can do. Number 8, Team Kong returns. I want all of them back. I want Nathan Lind, I want Eileen Andrews, and I especially want Gia. We need Gia. The world needs her. She's the best part of Godzilla vs. Kong. How could you not bring her back? And it would break my heart if they had to recast, because if Kaylee Hoddle doesn't want to come back to play Gia, if they have to recast and get somebody new to do it, it would break my heart. But I just want the character to be back and to not die, to stick around and be friends with Kong, to be Kong's family and to see where Kong goes. That's what I want. I want her back. But I want Kaylee to play her because we already have the connection to her. Number 9, new original Titans. I don't want any other Toho monsters going up against Kong, no Gorosaurus. Make new monsters. We don't need the skull crawlers to be the main antagonists of the next movie. We've seen that before. I want new monsters. I want new types of monsters. The Warbats were really cool. Nozuki, that was awesome. I'd like to see stuff like that, but I want new monsters, kind of stuff we've never seen before. I hope they cook something up that's really crazy. Like Scylla was a really interesting monster. It was like a weird mix of different creatures, and so I'd like to see Kong go up against stuff like that. Kong and Behemoth is also something that I'd totally be cool to see. I don't think they should fight. I think Kong and Behemoth should be friends, but I'd like to see Kong and Behemoth meet each other. I think that could be a cool meeting on screen. Number 10, Kong meets Mothra. Those are two characters that need to meet. It's like insane that they've never met before, and now we have the chance. They're both living in the same world if Mothra gets rebirthed, of course. I want to see the two of them together. I want Kong and Mothra to meet. I think that would be incredible. Number 11, Kong as the hero and as the lead. Godzilla vs. Kong is finally the movie that figured it out. You can just point the camera at Kong and let him act as a person. He is a character. He's not just a monster. Keep doing that. I want to see what he's up to. I want Kong to be the lead, and I think you could do a lot with that. And again, have him be the hero. I like having Kong as the good guy. I think that's a really, really cool development. Having him go from being like, yes, the one we're rooting for in Kong Skull Island, he is doing the right thing. We should be rooting for him, but he still blows up helicopters and whatever. But then in Godzilla vs. Kong, he's straight up the hero. He's a good guy. He's gone from being like, maybe he'll do the right thing in the pursuit of trying to do his own thing, but now he's actually actively doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. I think that's a very good development to make with Kong, and I would certainly continue down his heroic path in the next movie. This one's kind of optional. Number 12, as if there's, as if I'm like, come on, Warner, you don't get any choice here. You have to follow my orders, and this one's optional. No, I'm just saying this one, I could take it or leave it. Number 12 is King Kong in New York. If you're ever gonna have Kong leave the Hollow Earth, there's only one place I want want to see him go, and it's New York City. I want to see the new Kong stacked up in the city the same way that we saw the old Kong. I think that could be an incredibly interesting look at just how big this new Kong is. We've never seen a Kong bigger than 50 feet walking around New York City, so let's see how big the 300-foot Kong matches up. Could be interesting to see him climb the Empire State Building and just like the parallels visually between how it originally looks and now. Number 13, Kong's family. Kong needs a family. He's so lonely and sad. He needs a family, and he needs some of his own kind to find. So in the next movie, I would not have him find a lady Kong. I would have him find a small Kong, like maybe another 100-foot Kong, maybe a couple 100-foot Kongs. He's the oldest by far, and he has to protect these ones. They're the last ones in the Hollow Earth. They're the last of their kind, and he's the last one there to protect them and look after them. That's what Kong as a character should do. It's just an interesting development for him. It's something we've not really seen before. It could really, really work, and it sounds like we might be getting that with the movie Son of Kong if they make it. Number 14, this one's the most important on the whole list. Do not kill Kong. I get really worried for some reason that they're gonna kill him. They kind of treat him like an old man in Godzilla vs Kong. Adam Wingard talks about him like he's an old man. He isn't. Kong's like just an adult. Like maybe he's not actively fighting. That's kind of like Wingard says he's like a gunslinger without a fight anymore. So he's kind of out of shape and not in his prime by the time Godzilla vs Kong starts. Okay, fine. That's whatever. Just as long as we recognize that he's still not an old man. I don't want like old man Kong and then he dies. I don't want him to die and be replaced by a younger Kong, by the son of Kong. That will so rub me the wrong way. I would be so angry if they did that. Number 15, call him King Kong. Let him rule the Hollow Earth. Maybe he has to go up against like some monsters antagonizing the smaller Kongs, like whoever the current king of the Hollow Earth is. It certainly isn't Godzilla. The comic books kind of make it seem like, the Godzilla comic in particular, Godzilla Dominion, kind of makes it seem like Godzilla's not even welcome in the Hollow Earth. So I don't know who's the king of the Hollow Earth, but let's see Kong go up against that guy and then win and officially get the title King Kong, and he can even be the king of the Kongs who he is now protecting. Number 16, this one's a bonus for sure. I don't know how the Hollow Earth works. I don't know how the sunset would work. Is it always daytime there? It kind of feels like it would be, but I think it'd be really cool if at nighttime all of the energy that was glowing dims out and is replaced with just a massive aurora. Of course, how could I not want it? It's my favorite visual in the MonsterVerse. How could I not want them to do it again? If there's just like a giant ball of it maybe floating around in the gravitational inversion, or like the whole gravitational inversion changes colors and that's how nighttime works in Hollow Earth, that would be awesome. As for number 17, this is our other bonus, the Hollow Earth banana. This is our only chance to see Kong eating a banana, a King Kong sized banana. We don't know what kind of vegetation grows in the Hollow Earth. Give him a big Hollow Earth banana. You'd be a coward not to do it. All right, that'll do it for this one, guys. We'll end it with the Hollow Earth banana. Huge thank you to all my patrons on Patreon. You guys are absolutely the best. It goes a really, really long way towards supporting the channel, making sure these videos can still be made. Without it, I would have to go away again, get a traditional job, and then not make videos anymore. So please consider supporting the Patreon if you want videos like this to continue. Through that, you can also get early access to content, access to the Discord community, which I know many people want, and there's lots of benefits there for you to check out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you guys next time for the next one. D-Man, out.